Hello everyone! Welcome back to this game! So, if you recall, in order to get through Leaves Rest, we need to acquire a tree branch from a sleeping tree. But what happens if we try to proceed without it? We get lost woozed. Oh. Yeah, you will need the Silent Blessing in order to proceed. Head southeast until you find an area that is completely silent. Once there, remain in complete silence until the woods themselves test you. To pass the test, just remain still. Good luck! What if I try again? We only get the message once. Oh, but he does remind us, so that's good to know. Also, makes sense that Frederick would know about this. He had abandoned his soiled pants beyond this point, so he probably has already done this before. On a related note, I am not recollecting the soiled pants. Okay, so I just found out that there is another unlockable blessing if we go to Alara's TP Mastery and learn all of these. Let's go ahead and learn Technician, or Tactician, and that unlocks Alertness. Avoid losing TP when resting. I was not aware that we lost all our TP when we camped. Well, apparently that hasn't been a major issue considering it hasn't been so far. Okay, I want to point out a random little strategy when dealing with these woodmans. They love to counterattack. So, Scar, I'm gonna do a command that I never really do. I'm gonna tell you to stay back. We don't need you getting constantly counterattacked by that thing. Also, Savia's staff counts as a magical attack and it will not counter that. I have already imbued fire, so just leave this to me. I said leave this to me! Obvious question, do I have to tell Scar to attack again in the next battle? Is he still in defensive mode? Yep. So, don't forget to change his command whenever you want him to go back to attacking. Well, that happened. Okay, skipping past the Zane boss fight, because I had it pretty well figured out the first time around. We are now reaching the next pivotal moment on our quest to unlock alternate Chapter 5. Starkus is now selling the idea of going back to Mana Hill to dethrone King Vicar. Of course, that is what I wound up doing on the first run. I agreed with this plan because I figured that was our eventual goal anyway. King Vicar seemed like the primary antagonist. Alongside, Ilya and Zane, of course. However, in this case, I do want to find out what happens if we get to the alternate Chapter 5. So, sorry, but at least we did it in another timeline. I see. Fred got to you, huh? That is fine. I still respect you. But know this, Lambda. If you stand in my way, I won't hesitate to fight you. Yeah, you're the one that I would have expected to become an issue, not Frederick. I wonder if this means that we will in fact be fighting him atop Heaven's Reach. So, by the way, bit of advice. Some of the enemies here can cast a status affliction that drains your TP. So definitely a good idea to equip Mars Barrette here. Makes you immune to that crap. Also, along the way, fighting that pumpkin bug thing, one of my rewards was a pumpkin charm, which doubles the item drop rate. That would be really helpful if you wanted to grind for some mana shards by fighting those elephants in Alaror's Wrath. As far as I remember, fighting those elephants is the only way to replenish your mana shard supply. They don't respawn anywhere else. I mean, there might be another enemy that can drop those things, but I can't remember. At the least, the elephants are not too difficult to deal with, especially if you have the compass to grant immunity to confusion, which those elephants cast. Now then, moving on. Okay, I know there are people who are interested in finding out what do the axolotls do if I don't just instantly obliterate them with Mana Blast. Baby Flame. that was a little bite. That was cute. Okay, it was worth taking the time to figure this out. Alright, I have reached the end of Chapter 3. The boss at the end wasn't too difficult, even without wailing it with meteors. I had to do a little bit of healing, but otherwise no big deal. Now then, the Oracle is now on his deathbed, and I have options here. If y'all want to find out what happens if you choose the top option here, you all can find out for that bit. Y'all can figure that out for yourselves. Me, I'm gonna choose this one. Fred had a convincing plan. Ah yes, I've heard about his plan before. It's a bit out there, to be honest. But who knows, that may be what this place needs. Is this the same dialogue as when you choose Starkus's plan? I'm certain you will figure it out. Indeed. And now at this point, Ro has just told us what lies within the Tuonela thanks to Sue's observations. There's death, there's a lot of mana crystals, including a giant spire of a mana crystal, which kind of sounds like the one that sits central in Mana Hill. Now, Starkus and Frederick are arguing about whose plan is better, to go build a new Mana Hill, or to go after King Vikar and reclaim the old Mana Hill. Now, the first run, I just told both of them to stop it because can't we all get along? However, just to make sure that I wind up with the alternate Chapter 5, I'm going to tell Starkus to stop it and say that Fred is right. I feel a little bit guilty choosing this option, but gotta make sure this happens. Well, there you go, Starkus. Lambda has spoken. And that's the end of that. And here we are with the nightmare. Okay, I want to do a little experiment here, something that I did not try during my first run. Can we just not do this? We're probably going to have to actually go through that in order to proceed with the plot. Yeah, I feel like this is just an opportunity to restock on supplies if I needed to, because there are some battles down there, in my mind. And it's good to know that I have these items, because that is totally how battling in your mind works. As they say, knowledge is power. So, Zane has been pestering us during this nightmare, talking about how there is doubt within us, talking about how Lyria, he no longer mourns for Lyria. Tell me, Manafinder, have you grown tired of your futile mission? Yes, I'm tired. The settlement has no future. To suffer is the self-imposed human condition. Thus, the only cure is renouncing our so-called humanity. Are we talking literal or being beasts, as Octavius liked to put it? Mankind's suffering is also a burden on the land, on Avi itself. What is the alternative, then? Natural order, also known as chaos, is the only salvation for Avi. It is balanced. It is just. It is universal. It is absolute. Or at least it was until the gods graced you with mana stones. Mana stones were created to favor mankind, their favorite creation, but in doing so, they upset the sacred balance. Out of curiosity, they also taught us love. Don't make me laugh. You kill each other in the name of gold, status, land, or even this love you speak of. Have you ever pondered how unnatural it is for every human to gather, take, kill, and ravage so much in their lifetime? I mean, monsters do. All the food, books, clothes, weapons, barriers, ores, not ogres, buildings, fire, and whatever else you seek a better life with. All that decadence mocks the natural balance. Don't dragons eat and kill more than us? Yet they breed a lot less. Very few of them can exist. Well, yeah, they're bigger. They need more food. Dragons are a great example of the natural order, so thank you for bringing them up. You're welcome. You've seen firsthand what Mana Stones are doing to Avi, to Mana Hill, the settlement, the nomads. You have seen humanity at its worst, and you have seen that even at its best, it is not worth fighting for. Perhaps you are right. Join us, Lambda. Together we will restore Avi to its former glory. Let us put an end to humanity. Here, here, turn everyone into pigs. But how can we achieve such a goal? By destroying that which enabled humanity in the first place, the Mana Stones. And we shall kill all those who dare oppose us. Understood. Allow me to join Ilya's cause. I must admit I was skeptical about you. But Mother's intuition was as sharp as ever. You choose well, child. I welcome you to our cause with open arms. Let's get started. Oh gosh! Yeah, this got dark. Oh gosh, even Scar is like, I am the beast of my beast. Is that an evil spear? It might be a little hard to hear, but there are birds chirping. So, bad ending. I had previously asked the game creator if there was any benefit or any story branches other than the main ones, and I was told that agreeing to a Zane in this dream sequence would result in a bad ending. I wasn't told how bad, so this has been interesting. Yeah, we don't want that ending. What was that last screenshot anyway? Was that like a, Neanderthal lambda hanging with a wild animal? Did we literally just go back to the Stone Age? I suppose Octavius would be proud. I'm not, though. I'm gonna go ahead and go through that sequence again, and this time not doom everyone. And I will meet you some point after that. Okay, so at this point, the Oracle has passed away, Starkus has run off to claim immortality, and Frederick has chased after him, just like in the first run. So that part doesn't change. Einar the Oracle, V477 to V571. 571 years that King Vikar has ruled. An oracle, leader, friend, and a pillar of hope. He will continue to guide us alongst the gods, and his laughter will never be forgotten. Indeed, gonna miss that skeleton laugh. Okay, first things first here, I'm gonna talk to our favorite bear person. Just so you know, there's plenty of bears to kill up north in the White Trail. Indeed there are. You know, I keep talking to you because I feel like we never got to see this dialogue on the first run. Watch it turn out that it's just my memory that is bad and we've already seen all that dialogue. Okay, let's go ahead and talk to Nolan, and he's going to give us a new sword. But first tell me, Lambda, what do you intend to use your enchanted sword for? So on the first run, I remained silent to upgrade my sword into Lambda's sword, which is basically just a more powerful version of the usual sword that I had. Had the same strengths. However, in this case, I am going to choose something different. Let's see, we already overthrew King Vikar on the first run, so I'm going to choose to protect the settlement. In that case, allow me to name your enchanted sword Demon Slayer. Doing the thing. And there we go. Here you go, Lambda. Demon Slayer. Specifically effective against demons. Only demons, as opposed to Lambda Sword, which was good against the humans, demons, and plants. However, this weapon here is probably going to be very useful for the alternate Chapter 5. It may also be useful for the final quest with Seralia, as I have to protect her kids from a demon. Okay, Wolf, come to the left. Okay, that's funny. So I just defeated the demon imp that was attacking these kids, and as I was going through the closing dialogue, I noticed that this wolf was ever getting closer. For the record, the demon is weak against this demon-slaying sword, although not by any significant amount, no more than the other swords. Now, the reason I wanted to show this quest is because I chose the wrong answer here the first time around. I remained silent. For context, Seralia is stating, oh, she should have trusted her gut and gone after her kids. She must be the worst mother in the world. And on my first run, I remained silent because everyone makes mistakes, is putting it lightly. It's like, it was a pretty big mistake. But I also didn't want to be harsh by saying they could have died, you know? Remaining silent, though, I only get a boost to my Coma Plant healing of 10 points. So I'm going to choose the top option because I'm guessing this is the one that will get me the biggest boost. That resulted in a heart, so that was the correct answer. Oh, Lambda, I appreciate the sentiment, but it's okay to call me out. I'm kind of curious, what if I did call her out then? I will say, that's certainly a better reward than the last quest. 75 HP is a lot better than 30. What kind of reward is 30? So I'm gonna see if I can get a better reward by choosing the other option. By the way, bit of advice if you're going after that fight, don't forget to equip the accessory that makes you immune to confusion. So, they could have died, you know? Yes, I'll do a better job, I promise. I am so sorry. And... yeah, no. Definitely be comforting. I'm glad at the very least that she realizes that, yeah, she still goofed. Thanks for the comfort, but that was a big mistake. I can't believe I'm doing this. So, it turns out that the soiled pants has a purpose. And it requires that I wear them. This is going to be the last thing that I do for today's episode, so if this is going to gross you out too much, feel free to stop watching, and next time we will be catching up to Frederick and Starkus. So, I don't suppose y'all remember this kid here. I dig my feces around here. Yeah. There's a reason for this kid to exist. Looks like a Manafinder had an accident while on duty. You're not thinking about wearing them, right? I hate pants. That smell. I see you are a woman of culture. That is a way of putting it. If you understand the pleasure of wearing soiled clothes, you are worthy of my most treasured collection of feces. Why? I mean, there are people like this, to each their own, I guess, but I don't understand why adults shun me whenever I talk about feces. Is that why you were exiled from Mana Hell? Ugh, it just ain't my thing. And you'd think it would be, considering I have spent some time as a literal butt? But no, I am easily grossed out. Don't tell me it's a oh, it is. But why? Deals non-elemental magic damage to all foes and inflicts poison. Okay, I guess I gotta try to use this on something. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I am going to go all Shrek on these fish. One of them. And there we go. Gotta say, the effect was not as much of a spectacle as I was expecting. I was expecting a splattering. You know what, though? I'm kind of glad that there wasn't a splattering. Well, I guess that's all for today.